Hello all, it's Spokonzaga, and I wanted to do a quick reply to the video that the masked man did um, to Doc. It is what it is. But if anyone goes and listens to what the masked man just said to cover his rear end, because he's scared that somebody might have left him, because they may have actually realized their mistake, then I'm okay with that. Because that's what we've been saying all along. Most likely the one he's been threatened with and by is the masked man himself, in very sneaky ways this whole time, by making an example of everyone else. That if you oppose him and believe the people who have been fighting him this whole time and align yourselves either passively or directly with us, he will attack you and threaten your reputation, not just on YouTube, but on eBay, in your e-commerce world, and now in your real world. He even states in this video to Doc that he has never used stealth, never made stealth accounts, and that he has not ever broken any law. And about the only person who might believe that is Doc himself. But the masked man, in the process of trying to cover up, just proved me right this whole time. That eBay stealth is illegal. That eBay stealth is against the law. It always has been. Just because so many people get away from coasting through a stop sign or going 6 miles over the speed limit, everyone knows you're still breaking the law. Just because you usually get away with it does not mean it's legal. Everything that Masked Man does, from the trolling to the threats to the sabotage, everywhere he goes and to anyone who opposes him, is against the law. And the more he does it, the more we are going to speak out. And he cannot flip the script anymore. Sloppy, arrogant, ignorant, illegal. And then as more people started to see this after the Walcheck story, or even just before, they started getting bullied and threatened just for siding with us. That's a whole nother set of illegal actions that have nothing to do with my accusations, and now proof that stealth, that eBay stealth is illegal. And when you do it over and over as a matter of business on any e-commerce site, I don't care if it's eBay, Amazon, Etsy, stealth works everywhere. If you're willing to go commit real felonies just to sell a few things online. Don't buy into what he says. We didn't. And the very fraud and the very problem on eBay is fraud and scams. And here the masked man was promoting a way to do that to what we were fighting against, which was eBay stealth. And eBay stealth proved to be the very essence of how people get away with fraud online. Across the board. Number one problem on the internet: identity fraud. We didn't want any part of it. And we blew the whistle on him. And he fought, he denied it, and yet he continued to do videos thinking, oh, well, we were never going to be able to prove that he was such and such. So he got even more aggressive and even more sloppy and threatening and deliberately intimidating. And he put out a video exposing and doxing Crazeenydriver's store and telling people to threaten him. He did it in more direct ways than Slambay did, saying, oh, why don't you go and trick-or-treat old Crazeenydriver's home? That's a direct threat. And the even more amazing thing is he threatens everyone publicly. I mean, look at Jason. In fact, he did the story and interviewed me and Joe prior to Wallcheck. He was a third party. And he was completely hounded, threatened. And the masked man put his own address and showed the very thing that we say he does all the time. And yet still Doc was like, oh no, he's part of the whole thing. He was not aware of what the truth is. And he did not want to know. And anything the masked man told Doc, Doc now realizes, was all a lie. Because we know it is. No amount of flipping the script can prove or even show without a shadow of a doubt that any of us instigated any of this. We're dotted all over the country and all over the world. We all have the same story to share about this guy, the masked man. There's no conspiracy against him. He wasn't an eBay messenger to start. He was an eBay fraudster. And that is how he got back on eBay. And that's how he thought he was helping everybody who got kicked off of eBay. That was his way of helping. A criminal racket. An online identity fraud racket. Here you go, guys. Yeah, great help. You trust the guy with a mask on the internet? Most people didn't fall for it, but a few did. And if he's allowed to continue, more will. And if they say, go away, your stuff's illegal, he'll just attack them. Or accuse them of, oh, you're in the conspiracy against me, I'm just a messenger. And around he goes, in his own little room somewhere in denial about what he has done and what the consequences of his actions should be to the letter of the law. And he has gotten away with it because good people have done nothing for so long, he thinks it's either legal or that I can get away with it indefinitely because nobody's going to do anything. And he gets worse and worse till the Wallcheck story. Then he deleted everything. Oh crap, it was illegal. Now he denies it. Now he's come right out and said, hey, I'm not breaking the law. I never did stealth. And in the very way he's doing it, he proved me right himself from his own words. And he's done it all along. He's proven that he stalks by his own actions and words. He's proven that he doxes and threatens Crazeenydriver and others. His very actions and words prove us right every day. But that is the power of a common idea when you think you've been booted off of eBay unjustly and there's a conspiracy against you. You're going to hold on to that in spite of the evidence and the proof and what people are saying. Don't listen to this guy. He's no good for you. Oh, you guys are just part of the whole conspiracy. You guys are shills. You're a lithium. It's all a big conspiracy. So, look. This whole thing is about eBay stealth at its core. Now it has turned into a big drama because so many people are getting threatened and harassed because they believe us. That this person ran an identity fraud racket, promoted it, admitted it, and now he just is trying to deny it all. Because there's really three issues here. And I'm going to talk about the main issues with Crazeenydriver. Maybe more issues in it, but the first issue is when Crazeenydriver heard and saw and witnessed what the masked man was doing with the mask and the videos saying that eBay stealth is the way to go. And then when Crazeenydriver decided he didn't want anything to do with that, he blocked him. And made a video publicly saying, whatever this guy has told you, I want nothing to do with it. And Crazeenydriver didn't even mention really stealth or that it was against the law. That's been me. That has been me saying out loud on videos that eBay stealth is the very same thing as online identity fraud and new account fraud. Period. You can rename it however you want. You can name it Ghost, or you can name it You Can't See Me, but it's identity fraud. There's before Crazeenydriver's blocking video of him, and after that is when the masked man really started attacking him and doxing his work and threatening him. And it continued until the wall check story. So we've got pre-haters video of Crazeenydriver. We've got after the haters video all the way up to the wall check story. That's a whole nother series of threats and accusations. And then after the wall check story, and just before the wall check story that he knew was coming out, he deleted everything and tried to pretend like, oh, I'm just a messenger. And he aligned himself with Doc to try to get that validity that he is just a messenger and not a fraudster that we have been saying this whole time. So from that point, he started only doing videos, not about stealth, but after the wall check story on YouTube and to this whole, and to the public who saw that, he had to look legit. So that's when he started, oh, I'm just do Amazon. They hate me because I do Amazon. They hate me because I'm an eBay messenger. Look, I do donations to people. And he goes into court with that story. For the second wall check story, he goes into court stating that he was threatened and scared of Crazeenydriver, knowing full well this whole time the one who was doing the threats and the lies and everything was him. And he went into court with that lie. And Crazeenydriver never did anything. He never even remotely initiated anything. The masked man was really mad and jealous that Crazeenydriver, who had thousands of subscribers and legitimate and has a real store and a real life and was an insider at eBay, actually liking the platform, at least profiting from it. There's a lot we don't like. He was jealous at a successful person who had just told him, buzz off. And that is when this whole thing started. But take my word for it, it's pretty complicated, and I don't do this for fun.